Alright, Frigidaire drop-in slide-in range. Complaint: electronic control not supplying ground to the element causes it to turn off prematurely and will not maintain function. It's about an 11-year-old unit. More than 10, less than 15. Probable cause: electronic control board. All functions appear to be fine. Selection on touchpad control appears to accept commands. Control board integrated relay. After start, appears to send ground to cooling fan located at base here, and also element getting hot. Power control comes from the main control board, which is the clock. Traditionally, after 5 years of a unit, which this is a early 2000 model, after some time they will start phasing these designs out of service, which means parts accessibility becomes very difficult at the traditional manufacturer's level. Accessing to the main control board for this design is you have to purchase the entire unit as a whole, and accessing the unit, you have to remove your knobs, remove your knob panel sleeves. Once these are removed, in addition to 1 screw, 2 screw, 3, and 4, then this entire unit is replaced as an assembly. Control boards are rarely available individually, which thus causes it to be non-practical of a repair. This design you can purchase new on the low end, right around $700, not including installation. Installations usually run around, for a drop-in slide-in range, will run you right around $175 to $225. Varies from city and states. Preheat setting initial 300. Temperature has reached 300, indicated off of indicator. Temperature, true temperature internally is 230 and rising. Thermal climb and decline is a difference of 25 to 50 degrees difference. For electronic control board to resume power to the element once it's reached set temperature. Set temperature has been made. Temperature range while element is shut off on the low side should be about 250. It's 270, and it's been about less than 5 minutes since the power has been removed from the element. Bake indicator has resumed from control board. Complaint is unit turns itself off. As of right now, there is true temperature of 273, and once it reaches below 250, the element via the probe should turn power back onto the element, or the control board via the probe should turn power back onto the element. Temperature climbed 3 degrees. Momentarily, power was added to the control board. You see a red light here. That is indication of element receiving power from the control board. Temperature has climbed, stabilizing. Open the door to allow thermal or the heat to be removed from the oven. Temperature is declining to 62, once at 284. Power being reapplied to the element. Once temperature is met at 300 degrees setting, residual heat will be 50 degrees of setting, which would be then 350. Control board switching between element, lower element, and broil element, and the bake selection was made only. Depending on the make and model, some Frigidaire ranges will use both elements, top and bottom. Temperature is beginning to climb at 280. Indicator should be sounding soon. Integrated relay. Still hear the relay being switched on and off. Visual heat setting should be the heat set plus 50 degrees at maximum. So plus or minus 25 to 50 degrees. Indication of power being supplied, then turned off. The bake selection has been on approximately less than 10 minutes. The temperature has been met and has cooled down to sufficient thermal of 250 and now has climbed to 300, and it's slowly reaching its limitation of thermal rise or residual heat. control board response, power to ground seems to be normal at low setting. Temperature declining. The thermostat on this thermometer limits out at 400 degrees. I'm going to set this for a higher temperature and see if it will air out at 400 degrees. Element resumes, receiving power immediately from the control board via the probe for the increase of temperature to element. Element appears to be fine, providing heat. New setting at 400. Temperature beginning to rise. 360. Should limit out. And it should still register on the low side of 400. So on the low side, it should register turning the element back on, which would be this light here, at low side of 350. Timer. What would be recommended on repair, if there is a repair, would be main control and probe, thermostat probe, internal. Heat appears to be stabilizing at 350. At the low side of the 400 degree setting. clear 400 and 4. That was the bake setting. On the clear oil setting. Indicator, oil light. Should see an immediate rise in temperature. Temperature still stabilized in the 350 range. Control functions indicating common to both element and boil. No adequate power supply. Information gathered, clean function, which can cause a thermal reading of 600 to exceed 700 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat rises. Your control unit is right in the front. You have a cooling fan located here to help cool the electronics. When clean functions are used on your range, it causes an extreme temperature rise, which then can cause damage to the electronics, thus displaying error signals. Resolve or correction and repair is to replace the electronic control unit.